I didn't realize... Ugh. I didn't realize, I don't want to say how short it was, but like, I was looking for the audio files and thought I was close to having them all. Turns out there were 30 and I'd only found half of them. So they had to explain that little side story to me. But yeah, I knocked out ODST in 2 afternoons. I was genuinely surprised to find out I was nearing the end of the game. Johnson showed up like the badass he was. Cigar chomping badass that he was. Have you not got the Game Pass for the others? No. I don't have Game Pass. I have an Xbox One, but it's in a canvas bag in my attic. And I've never plugged it in. Nate gave it to me in case I wanted to play Xbox-specific Destiny. I did not. So I have taken that Xbox One and just put it in my attic and have never plugged it in. Damn, I think someone parked my username on Throne. You should be able to get a hold of them. I would imagine, so, oh, their website's just a little janky. Asked me to choose a username, but I already chose it, so it says it's taken, but it looks like I already have it. I was gonna say, I got in touch with a person named Sophia yesterday. And I have a hard time believing that Sophia would let that kind of horse shittery stand. We're gonna put you over here. I don't really know why. Well, you know what? I do know why. So we're gonna do controlled explosions. That's fine. We're gonna keep ourselves safe. Come on. Come on. God almighty, please. Fine. Low-key was kind of hoping for Soul Heart, but I'll take it. You're on the wait list? I have an idea. Hold on. I'm just gonna do this while we're all sitting here. Invite code to Rab, invite code to Justin. Done and done. Now back to Isaac. No worries. It's, I'd feel like kind of an asshole if the guy who made the countdown timer for us and revamped our entire, shut up and play the game taffy spreadsheet of their, out of the kindness of their hearts was like, hey, can I get an invite code to that thing you got for free? I'd be like, nah. I've got to save it for someone more influential. I'd shut my own dick in a door. I'd laugh my ass off. I'm glad you'd feel that way. I'd want to beat my own ass. I legitimately am super happy now that I got, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm really happy that I got the, oh, you little rat bastard, you almost touched me. That one did touch me. Please stop throwing your children at me. A, I'm glad I didn't pick up the Soul Heart. B, I'm glad I got Small Rock. That damage upgrade is proving critical right now. So is the rate of fire upgrade. Rate of fire upgrade? Small Rock's the rate of fire upgrade, right? The clout I get from giving it to you doesn't meet the minimum threshold. Ugh. Oh, it hurt me to read that out loud.
Health up.
Okie doke. Don't fuck this up, Taff. This is actually, I think, maybe the easiest haunt. I'm gonna say that. He's gonna beat the shit out of me. The trick really is just be on your toes but stay right in the middle. Damn. What a perfect amount of red hearts. Does it behoove me? I could do... 1, 2, 3, 4 playthroughs of the sack room. More if I get super lucky with the secret room. Oh, it's the next floor. That's fine. In my head, I had it. The Pandora's box on this floor was 2 bombs, 2 keys. It most certainly is not. But that's okay. We'll potentially get ourselves an arcade on the next floor. We'll potentially get an arcade on the next floor instead. Or maybe we won't. Screw me for having aspirations, I guess. I'm pretty excited. Oh my god. Oh, I love Ghost Pepper. I was pretty excited to finally get a hold of my landscaper. Instead of emailing him, we just called him. You guys would not believe the fucking stories that my landscaper told me yesterday. I called the landscaper that booked the job and said, hey, are you guys still doing work on my house? And he said, hey Ryan, what's going on? Sorry, I don't book the crews, I just book the work. Let me put you in touch with Tyler. He actually books the crews. He's like, is this a good number to reach you? And I said, yeah, sure. And he goes, okay, Tyler will be a hold of you shortly. And I was like, all right, cool. Tyler calls me and says, hey, Mr. Caps, I'm really sorry I haven't gotten a hold of you. It's been a couple months. And I said, oh yeah? And he goes, yeah, we had a $30,000 piece of equipment stolen from one of our job sites. And I said, how does that even happen? And he said, the thieves walked up and pretended to work for us, so the homeowners opened the gate, helped them get it off the property, and they literally just drove it away. He goes, we had to work with local law enforcement to get it back, and it took about 9 days. But it meant that job site was kind of locked down for a week and a half while we found our $30,000 piece of equipment. And I said, oh, no kidding? And he goes, yeah. And I had 3 guys who left off of a crew. And I said, oh, really? He goes, yeah, one dude went home to Guatemala. But 2 other guys just decided they don't like working in the cold. He goes, I had another crew, nuts. I had another crew, where a guy caught COVID, so I had to furlough them for the entire crew for like 12 days. And like he just kept going. And then he said, we booked this job at a woman's house, and she was very excited. I should have gone. No, I'm okay. She said, he goes, I booked this job. We booked this job at a lady's house. She's 41. From the time that we booked it to the time we got there, because he said we're on her job site right now. From the time that we booked it to the time that we got there and started working, she was diagnosed with cancer and died this week while we were working on her house at 41 years old. So he was just like,
bad trip.
Like he was just like, yeah, so I'm sorry we haven't been in better communication with you. Yeah, like honestly, like that, the emotional roller coaster, because I was ready to forgive and forget. I'm not the kind of guy who gets all Karen-y about like, oh, well, they didn't get a hold of me for a while. I'm not somebody who sits around and pines about that kind of shit. If they've got a halfway decent excuse, and it like, honestly, it could just be like, sorry, Mr. Caps, COVID, supply chain issues, labor shortages, any of those work for me. But this man marched out like, we're on a job site right now where the lady who hired us died before we could finish the job. And I was like, God damn. They were all great reasons. I'm not particularly fussy. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to carry with me for a moment. I'm gonna do that to get the black heart. I'm gonna do that to make sure I can go to deals with the angel if I feel so inclined. Yeah, every single one of those reasons were like, sounds like a fuckfest of a company. I mean, they do really good work. I don't know that you can blame the company for one of their clients getting cancer and dying between the time that they signed up and the time the work actually begins. I don't know that you can blame them for theft either. If I leave like a backhoe on a work site and I show up the next day and it's not there, and the owners of the house say, yeah, your guys came and got it, and it's like, my guys did not come and get it. Like maybe you could lean on them and say like, well, any one of these things they should have communicated, but like, I'd rather hear a guy on one of the crews got COVID, so we put the entire team in furlough, as opposed to one of the guys on the crew got COVID, so we sent him home for a day or two and we just crossed our fingers with everybody else. Not blaming them, but a company like that should be about to close. I don't understand how. I don't understand how. How? You know what I mean? Maybe I'm being willfully naive. I'll accept that if that's the answer. If the answer is Taffy, you're being incredibly naive. A, B, C, and D, these people should have been on the ball. I just don't see how any of that, like, even if it had been their fault, I'm a pretty easygoing guy. I looked for
Two of diamonds.
I looked for a landscaper for such a long time and saw so many worse companies. I saw so many more worse companies charging just about as much, if not more, booked out for longer. So I was pretty happy to book anybody. Yeah, their work is like ridiculously good. But yeah, I don't know. I don't work in landscaping. Maybe you do, and you know something I don't. But as an outsider looking in, like, none of those things really. And then on top of that, like the real big drawback was that instead of getting it done at Christmas, I'm gonna get it done 2 weeks into January. You know, like I was gonna get it done during the winter anyway, when I'm not doing any entertaining in the backyard. And instead of getting it done around Christmas time, I'm gonna get it done in like the middle of January instead. I just feel like once upon a time I might have been the kind of person, and I'm not like, again, I'm not like hurling stones. Maybe you know stuff that I don't, but like, I'm just saying, I feel like once upon a time I might have been the person who was like, who would say, pre-COVID, I might have been the kind of person who'd be like, those people need to get their asses together. They need to get their shit together. I can't believe that company still functions with all the problems it's having, but I'm just like, you know, I can't order a refrigerator or a couch or an oven. I can't, like, you know, I can't get blinds or a sofa because the entire world is in disarray from the last 2 years being a gigantic wrinkle in the carpet that we were all stepping on. Thanks, JJ. I'm a very easygoing guy. I loathe conflict. Sounds plausible, but a bunch leaving, another employee has COVID, equipment getting stolen. It's like what happened 2 years ago happened in 1 month. I don't know jack shit about this kind of company. I mean, that's, you know, I have not seen anybody in manual labor. I don't want to say who has taken COVID seriously, but like the Dominion Power guys who came out and fixed my transformer during the height of the pandemic came out, no masks on, no social distancing. From what I'm told, like, you know, the construction worker crews that my family are friends with in Idaho, all those guys, close quarters, even though they're outdoors. Close quarter, like, you know what I mean? Like, most people who are laborers don't have the luxury of saying, I'm not gonna come to the job site today unless you provide me with masks and everyone ensures my ability to social distance. I can't ride in the truck with Carl to the job site unless we do it masks on and windows down. Like the laboring culture. I would be more surprised, I think, to find out that they were like super concerned about, you know, keeping their guys apart. And it would be another thing too, I think, if this guy was like, you know, if this guy was like, it wasn't our fault and was like pleading for me to understand or whatever, but he was like genuinely flustered, and every other word out of his mouth was, "I'm so sorry that I didn't get a hold of you earlier." Like he was taking ownership of things that felt like a series of acts of God. And then on top of that, all these series of acts of God are gonna cost me 2 weeks. It's not even like he's like, "I'm gonna get to you in March." Con Snow, good morning. There's no reason not to believe it. Shit happens. I would argue that the fact that they still function is a testament to them being strong. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I have no idea. I know that their entire website is just filled with like. So there were two different kinds of companies that I seemed to find an awful lot of when I was going down this road, right? When I decided I was gonna get some work done on the house, there were two different kinds of companies that I found mostly. One seemed to be the inexpensive landscapers, and the inexpensive landscapers, that's what I was looking for. The inexpensive landscapers had GeoCities websites that their daughter made for them in their middle school HTML class, and the work looked okay. But then there were other places where I was like, damn, these websites look good and the work looks good. Shit, most of this work's being done near country clubs. Fuck, look at the pricing, I can't afford this, never mind. And this is like the first company that I found that landed firmly in the middle. Oh, you little rat bastard. I was gonna say, I just need Ghost Pepper to help me out one time, but I can't do that if I can't line up a straight shot because this asshole Fat Bat swallowed a Thompson submachine gun. I don't know what I want out of here, but I do know I want these soul hearts. Oh, okay. Orphan socks, speed up and your feet feel stronger. Well, we have swallowed Callus. Yeah, like ultimately, I feel like you're right, Serge. If this had happened in 2019, I'd be like, well, damn, this company is just nothing but a walking Greek tragedy. Maybe I should steer clear, but because it's 2020 and 2021, I'm just like, oh, well, that makes sense. All of that tracks. All of that tracks, sadly. From a customer service standpoint, the only thing they did wrong was not talk to you and keep you in the loop. I side with Taffy. They were all good reasons, and I would have treated it the same. Yeah, I mean, like, listen, just because I'm easygoing doesn't mean that, like, if I had felt seriously slighted, you know, I would have been like, I'm not, you know, I would have marched out with, like, I'm not really sure I want to continue with this if you guys are just going to be this walking clown fiesta. But I didn't genuinely feel, like, with the exception of they should have been in contact with me. I don't know, Kaz. I might go check that out. With the lone exception of like you guys probably should have like let me know a little bit sooner without me having to track you down. Yeah, everything else seems, as far as I'm concerned, like outside the realm of their control. I have to imagine. Devil deal or angel deal, chat? I worked for a construction company for a while. During 2 months last year, they had a former employee plow over a protester in a truck. Thieves break into their yard and steal a shipping container worth of equipment, and a supervisor leave for personal reasons. Sometimes when it rains, it pours. Wow, overwhelmingly angel. I'm with you. Let's do it. Ew! I'm so sad. Shit. Angel for keys. It's Eden on file 1. We don't need no stinking mango Santa. Oh, JJ Madison, I was just saying I finally got a hold of my... Nah, you can't get in here for free, sadly. I was just saying I finally got a hold of my landscaping contractor, and the guy had been... Ugh. the guy had been very kind when we signed up for the work, and I didn't want to be the person who was like, oh, well, once they got my money, they were dickholes about it and disappeared on me. But like, I hadn't heard from the guy in months. Yeah, the work that they showed me was so good. It was so good, and it was like reasonably affordable. I had people quote me the exact same work for almost twice as much. It did really feel like in the beginning of the pandemic, people said, oh yeah, well if folks are gonna, if everybody on the planet's gonna ask for landscaping, we're gonna give everyone the fuck you price. And we'll just see who bites. Oh, I did get it. I managed to net a half heart out of that. I have one dude from this place called Nash Construction. I want to say, like, he came out, did the whole rigmarole, offered to do less than this company's doing, and said the whole thing was going to cost like almost $40,000 or 50 grand, some fucking crazy fuck off number. Like a fifth the cost of my house to do some of the landscaping things that I asked for. And I was like, oh, maybe I've just underestimated whether or not I have the ability to afford landscaping. But then this current company got a hold of me, and it turns out $50,000 was entirely too much money to ask for some landscaping to be done on the outside of my house. Viking Warlock Taffman chat, I have cream cheese, banana bread baking. I've been informed of getting a raise at work, so good morning, you beautiful goddamn heathens. Congratulations, Viking Warlock. Happy to hear it. Pleased, chuffed, pleased as punch for you. Congratulations, my dude. Eat pant, Taffy. I've deserved this. Give me those sweet, sweet bombs that I've been missing out on for floors now. I'm gonna keep playing this out, hoping for lucky pennies. I feel like my rate of fire went down. Always comfy, welcome back. Damn. I got a lot done yesterday. Yesterday was a very productive day, and I need to forgive myself for falling victim to... literally, the only thing that I did wrong yesterday was I ran out of day. Richie, welcome back. Happy to see you, man. What do you got for me? Ugh. Literally, the changes I made at work this year made the company about $300,000 more than the previous year, so at least it was recognized. That's fucking awesome. The changes I made at work did not make the company $300,000 more a year. You guys would have heard about that. because I would have walked in here and giggled through the first hour of the broadcast. But the changes that I made to the channel did get me a nice cutlery set yesterday. I felt so bad, man. My mom, Smashly has, like, recently has been here and said, Taffy, oh, okay. Smashly has been in here recently and has said, Taffy, have you run into the same problem I've run into, where chat buys you so many gifts that family members get pissed off because they don't know what to get you? And I said, yeah, dude, my mom 100% has kind of given me shit about that. In years past for birthdays and Christmas and all that jazz.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the
PC is
cave.
quiet. Brizzy! Tier 1, 52 months. Yeah. Yesterday, Champion popped off and bought us, I don't know, like $1,500 worth of art and cutlery. He bought all the knives off of Throne. And I was like, oh, that's so nice of him. That makes sense because I just did that Thanksgiving stream where I cooked Thanksgiving dinner. So I guess there were people who were just like, oh man, we got to get Taffy some better knives than these like super old J.A. Hinkle's knives that he's been using since 2008. Every knife that he bought yesterday cost more than the knife set I have. The nightmare scenario for me, my mom texted me while I was on the shitter last night, and the text, oh my god, the text said, if I was to buy you one of those knives off your wish list, which one would you want for Christmas? And I had to go to my mother and say, I'm sorry to be the one to break this news to you, Ma, but Champion bought all those knives off the list a little bit earlier today. And I could feel like the disappointment radiating through the phone. And I felt so bad for her. Brizzy, I hope you're doing well, man. I miss you. Genuinely miss you, my dude. Jono says, hey Taffy, congrats on making up your time and finishing ODST. Have you gone on YouTube and just watched the audio logs? I didn't have time yesterday. I probably could have at the very tail end of my day. I plan on it for sure. I absolutely plan on going through and listening to the other half of the audio logs that I didn't find for sure. Oh my. But I didn't do it yesterday, no. I fell asleep right after stream for about 15 minutes, and that was all the nap I got, and then I went downstairs, talked to Amber for a little bit, did a little State of the Union with the house, and with the family, and then, cooked dinner, sent a bunch of messages, sent a bunch of emails, answered a bunch of Discord messages, did some tax and accounting paperwork, talked to Noah, talked to my mom, and then the next thing I knew was it was this morning. Really just hoping for lucky pennies here, or I guess the health upgrade. Yeah, I was gonna say, Mom Taffy swore up, down, and sideways she wasn't getting me anything because she already got me the PlayStation 5. And now she's sitting there like with idle mom hands, not knowing what to do around Christmas. I went from wearing the same black socks every single time I put on shoes to getting gifted like fun, interesting socks from Amber's family for Christmas, and genuinely have enjoyed having funky socks. Yeah, Reenie's got it. He sucked, and then we booted him. And then he let me know that, you know how there are those assholes? You know how there are those assholes who gatekeep accessibility in video games by saying like, oh, you're not supposed to be able to play that game on easy mode. It's only Dark Souls. Oh, you little rat fucker. It's only Dark Souls, like, it's only Dark Souls if you want to rip your hair out after playing it for 100 hours. I don't want video games to have easy modes on them so that people can enjoy story. He did that, but with my vasectomy. You went all the way under and were prescribed painkillers? You should have been able to do that with a penknife and a Zippo and a mirror, and then maybe take an Advil afterwards. You did the easy one. And then he and I got into a Twitter yelling match, which I probably shouldn't have done in the first place. Brizzy called it the right thing. He said he said that getting engaging with that dude is punching down. But in my fairness, I didn't even realize I was in a ring. I was cracking wise with my friends online when some butthole that I had summarily dismissed from my world showed up and let me know that he still thinks he knows best about literally everything, and I was like, ah. I've actually bit my tongue on this dude for literal years, so letting loose on him felt very good. Down in the UK, we had ice cream wrapper socks, but all my sizes were sold out. That sounds amazing. I would do ice cream wrapper socks. I wore very autumnal socks to my vasectomy. It's neither here nor there. I wore very like mushroom and leaf orange and brown socks to my vasectomy, and when I was down to literally nothing but my socks, I guess in an effort to like, I don't want to say lighten the mood, it wasn't like it really needed lightening up, but in an effort to sort of like, I guess, put me at ease, the lady who was telling me to like disrobe and get underneath the blanket and all that jazz and getting my IV put in was like, I really like your socks. And I was like, oh, thank you. Me too. I love the fall. Yeah, too forgetful. Yeah, JJ. Like that's my thing, is that I got plenty of dudes here who are like manly men, but like without the toxicity that seems to obligatorily accompany it. Glitch is a manly dude, but he's also sympathetic and capable of empathy, you know? Left for a second, now we're fighting someone online about doing his own surgery. Nah, like I was in pain and I was grumpy, and I ended up dressing down a know-it-all redneck who essentially was like, if QAnon had its own account on if QAnon had its own account, if Ben Shapiro came to my channel, if Joe Rogan showed up in my chat, then this guy was that guy. We got rid of him a long time ago, but he showed up for the first time in over a year to challenge my manliness on Twitter. And instead of biting my tongue, which frankly is what I had done for quite some time because I don't like confrontation, I essentially told him that if I wanted to know his opinions, I'd go read bumper stickers at a Walmart parking lot. And then it escalated, and then he realized that he couldn't, like, wish ill on me because I'm actually doing really well. Then he just deleted all of his tweets and then blocked me. So I am declaring victory. Yeah, I might do that as an animated, like the next animated GIF that I have, or I guess the next animated emote that I have Thermal working on. I just want fire. I want a good 8-bit animated fire, or I get like 16-bit, 8-bit. I don't know how many bits fit in the pixels that we've got there. I just want like a good looking flame that I feel like could be utilized in a couple of different situations. I'm not gonna open that. You can add that to Throne Chaos. The nice thing about Throne is that you can make suggestions, and I'm no longer obliged to crack those open during the middle of an Isaac run. Ha ha ha, take that. Because they're never serious, and they always take time to get done. But now, if you want me to read them, it's easy peasy. Put them on Throne, and I will get to them when I am not live. How do you like them apples? They're never serious. They're never the kinds of like you've never put one thing on there where I'm like, oh, I'm sure glad Chaos brought that to my attention. Oh, a whack-a-mole thing. I'm sure that's gonna be worth our collective time. Let me stop stream to click this link. Just for you, Chaos, I have joined Throne, and now you can recommend all those things to me. Yeah, Serge, it was something else. Like it was very funny. It was very funny. Another person with whom I'm friends who does not like this person basically said like, "Oh man, they're so over being banned from your chat. I mean, they came back after all this time and picked a fight with you on Twitter because they're so, you know, at peace with being summarily dismissed from this channel." And I was like, yeah, that's oof. When you work in the meatpacking industry in Bent Arm Pit, Tennessee, I guess there's not a whole lot else to do besides hold a grudge. Is that tears? Please let that be tears. Thank God. I'm going back. I recommend good stuff. How dare you, sir? I don't doubt that you do. And I'll see it later on Throne. The new avenue for recommending even cool stuff or meme stuff. And in that time, I will have the ability to approve or veto it as I see fit without taking time out of an Isaac run, which makes my editors be in a weird spot. And by the way, I'm paid, like, my 3-month grace period with my editors is ended. And because I take so many breaks to stop, and not just like breaks are easy to cut out. Whenever you see the post-it note, you just cut that out of the footage. But because I take so many breaks to do things like click on Mimi links, my rates for my YouTube editors for the Isaac runs have gone up. I am now paying more than I was before because I very much like what Joanna and Johan are doing. But stopping to do things like click on Mimi ass links is why I have to pay them extra. I don't know why I thought more would come out of that than it did. I knew spiders were gonna come out. I'm trying to keep the Isaac momentum rolling forward. All right, Jesus Christ, I didn't realize you own Spencer's Gifts. Fuck me. Ladies and gentlemen, Chaos's family, founders of Spencer's Gifts. They're not all memes. That's the tagline of Spencer's Gifts. Some of them are okay. It's not all meme items. If I had realized you were going to take it this personally, I'd have just bought the $190,000 I'm not looking at it link. So Lost Romeo, I did, in news that sincerely matters to me, I did open up a service ticket with them, and they're gonna get back to me. So like, I got a hold of them for like potential partnership stuff, and said, hey, I'd like to, you know, open up a line of dialogue. I really feel like I can do some good. Ah, Glitch, buying us a minute of solitude. Thank you, sir. The return on investment for that dollar. So yeah, Lost Romeo, I got a hold of them with one email. I said, hey, partnership opportunities. But with the other email, which went to like their actual like customer service, bugs and glitches and feature idea, actually opened a service ticket location. I said, hey, I've got this viewer named Lost Romeo who's trying to do a nice thing for us, and everything kind of went sideways. Can y'all help me out? I can't fix it on my end because it doesn't show to have ever been ordered, but he did get charged for it. And now we just kind of are stuck waiting for a I say stuck. It's been 12 hours. But we're waiting on a reply now. Welcome back, Chaos. I hope that breather was everything you needed it to be and more. I do my best to add markers. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I mean, yeah, I guess. If he gives me like Rotten Baby or something like that, I'll be very happy. It's not like I've got many. That's it. That's my last shop, so I might as well. Yeah, Lost Romeo, I appreciate that. I bumped into this once with Stream Gifts and Champion one time, as the Champion bought me, you're gonna be shocked to hear this, chat, over $1,000 worth of GoPros. But it turns out that what Squint Fox thought I needed, and he was absolutely right, was these NDI cameras that we used for Thanksgiving. Sure, Bob's brain is okay. So I returned the cameras. As best I could probably figure it, what happens is, and I don't know if every one of them's like this, but I think what happened with Champion was he bought the cameras, the money goes to an intermediary or escrow account, and then Stream Gifts buys the thing. So I had to harass Amazon because there was such a kind of a convoluted chain of events that led to that. And I got a hold of Amazon and said, hey, nobody's got this money. Where did this $1,200 go? And then when I finally got them to a place where they were like, we issued the refund, it actually went to Stream Gifts and not to Champion. So then I had to reach out to Stream Gifts and say, hey, you're sitting on a, you know, $1,200 of one of my high rollers' money. If it could go back to him or to me, that'd be great. And they fixed that like lickety split, but like, yeah, it's a, you know, it seems to not be an unusual hiccup. But I will say that like my apprehensions about Throne, I think we're almost entirely rooted in it just being the American holiday weekend. It seems like now that we're on the other side of Thanksgiving, they've kicked back into full gear, or at least it feels like they've kicked back into full gear. All that stuff that Champion purchased and JJ Madison purchased and Kilo purchased and Alucard purchased, all that stuff was in transit as a shipped order within a matter of hours. And they responded to my Twitter DM and said that they'd find me an email. So I am probably 1 or 2 items hitting my doorstep away. Once I'm sure that items actually get here, I'm 1 or 2 items hitting my doorstep away from feeling like we'll probably just kind of shift our efforts over to Throne from here. Taffy picking up Bob's brain. What is this madness? I need the damage output. I'm still sitting. I'm on depth 2 point, or I'm sorry, depths XL, and I'm still rocking 281 on my tiers. No bueno. Glitch uses 500 bits and buys us another minute of auditory comfort. Which reminds me, I do miss Gucci. I hope Gucci's doing okay. Only Champion does Champion memes. I'm so stupidly eager to buy that pinball machine, but the problem that I've got now is that, like, you know, within a week or two, I'll be able to take the boys. Within a week or two, I'll be able to take the boys wherever I want to play video games, so long as I, you know.
Question and marks.
So long as I continue to try to, you know, be safe with them and not have them like, hey, let's go to this place where, you know, you cough into the bouncer's mouth and then he lets you in the door. But as long as I take them to, you know, like arcades and we stay masked up and we stay away from people for the most part, then I still feel pretty genuinely, I'll feel genuinely at ease about taking the boys to an arcade and playing these pinball machines before we commit to buying one. But now I'm starting to realize that, like, pinball machines have gotten incredibly popular, and now, like, I started to look into what if I just wanted to buy the Stranger Things pinball machine today, because I'm just so tired of putting it off. And I'm not even sure where I would buy one from. Like, I guess at some point I'm gonna have to go back to the Pinball Collective guys here in Richmond and just pick their brains, because I just, I don't know, I don't even know, like, I want to buy a premium machine. I have no idea where they're even available, like, which resellers and which, like, which resellers and aftermarket people are trustworthy and which ones might be scams. I don't want to keep bothering Jack, Deadflip about it, 'cause it's like, he doesn't work for me. Just because I got excited about buying a pinball machine doesn't mean that he should bend over backwards to be my personal fucking shopper, you know? I don't know. Got a lot on my mind, I guess. What happened to Gucci? He just hasn't been around for a little bit, that's all. Shit, we're going to Chuck E. Cheese after my son gets his second shot. Yeah, I can't wait. There's a couple of different places that have pinball where, aside from just playing the game that we're, aside from playing the games that we're thinking about buying, There's still just a shitload of cool pinball machines out there that I'd love my boys to be able to play. I would love for them to get, you know, excited about pinball. Goodness knows they deserve it after the years that they've had now. But there's also a part of me that wants to buy this fucking pinball machine. I'd love to buy it in 2021 so I could write it off on my taxes. This is a $10,000 business expense. And in earnest, if I put it on my American Express card, I get miles. I get miles and sort of steps towards. I get miles and steps towards potentially flying in style if Omicron lets us do travel next year.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
My new boss asked if I could come in and help move some desks. He said I still have one good arm. Can I introduce you to a subreddit known as Anti-Work? It is essentially my new porn. Over 40, welcome back. Hello from Disney World, you lucky ducks. You lucky ducks. Over 40, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Gifted sub from Rusty Brazenfire, happy to have you back. I hope you have a tremendous time at Disney. I'm toying with the idea. Nate pinged me and said, I miss my friends. And I said, oh yeah? He said, what are the odds I can maybe get you to come out and see me? And I was like, maybe. And he's like, what if I set you up with the plane ticket? I don't know why I did that. There's no room there. So Amber and I are toying with the idea of trying to figure out maybe in January or February, bundling it so that we can get the boys out to Idaho. I can stream from Idaho for a couple of days and then rotate down and see Nate. And not lose as much streaming time. Like, I would lose less streaming time than I did for Kentucky, so it wouldn't be such a nightmare trying to get all those hours back. But that just means that, like, my first real vacation that involves leaving the state and not going to a marathon charity event would be February. So it'd be almost 2 years between, like, recreationally themed vacations. Honestly, Fremery, like, that's my big takeaway is I really don't want to do this again. Yeah, Lauren, like we've owed my parents. We've owed my parents a vacation where we come and see them and you and my sister and my niece and nephew. We've owed them a visit for going on 2 years now. We had plane tickets and everything back in April of 2020. I'm committed. I'm sad. And Nate saying like, hey, I'm out in Utah. What are the odds we could get together somewhere in this region? Made me think, you know, it'd be cool to go see my parents for a little bit, stream from my dad's office for like a week, maybe. Try to keep roughly the same hours, which mean waking up the crack of dawn in Idaho, but then, you know, towards the tail end of it, taking like a long weekend and hanging out with Nate and Heather and then coming back home. Swinging back from, you know, Utah or wherever, back up to Idaho, grabbing my kids, hitting the Boise airport and deucing out. I don't know. It would also mean, like, potentially taking them out of school for a really long period of time, which I don't think I should do. I don't know. I haven't had to plan a vacation in years. Lost Romeo, where are you going in January, if you don't mind me asking? If it's too personal, you can tell me to go fuck myself, but I will say it is nice to have even an artificial tears upgrade if I can just keep it alive on the floor. We need a tour of the fabulous Jerome, Idaho. I genuinely don't know if I'll ever step foot in that town again. And it's not even like me trying to be, it's not even me trying to be like self-righteous or anything like that. I just can't, my parents don't live there, and a lot of my family doesn't live there, so I just don't know why I would go there anymore. There's a lot of like Mormon Cap families that live out there, and while they're very nice, we were never all that close. So I just can't see myself going down there to visit with like my Mormon family and have them be like, so what's been happening in the last 25 years? And I'm like, oh, nothing much. All right, well, if you need me, I'm gonna hit up the Sonic and Walmart on the way out of town and go on back to Boise. It was nice seeing you. No shit, getting on a cruise ship and heading down to the Panama Canal. That sounds exciting. I would do that. There's genuinely a part of me too that wants to get our Mimi retirement thing pulled together, because I have genuine concerns about whether or not I'll see another one of these contracts. I got genuine concerns that if they didn't hold on to Ludwig, Lupo, and Tim, they can afford me. I know they freed up some schmeckles. But I got serious concerns as to whether or not they'd drop a dime on me. If they're torn about whether or not they want to hold on to guys like that. Hello? Neat. Oh, word! I hope it was productive. Welcome back, Prizzy. I was just saying, I've got wheels turning and ideas in motion. That's what I'm saying. I'm not I would love to be surprised. I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to be surprised, and I would love to be proven wrong and have Twitch be like, hey man, here's a kerjillion schmeckles. We just value you so much and are happy to have you on the team. The loss of Lupo and Tim and Ludwig have snapped into focus how much we need to work to keep people like you and Brizzy and Justin around. We'll be hitting them up with million schmeckle offers as well. That would be awesome if they did that. I have a hard time believing that they're gonna do that. So I'm making hay while the sun shines. And if that doesn't happen again, I'd like to have any sort of plan in place to take the sting off of losing that guaranteed income that I've grown very accustomed to. Oh, let's just do this. Thank you. I almost messed that up. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. Whee! Forgot that I had socks. That's right. That's right. Listen, chat. Brizzy and I are determined to fill the gap left by the absence of Lupo and Tim. So Brizzy's gonna go ahead and get completely tatted up. I'm gonna need you guys to drop like, I don't know, $3.5 million to St. Jude. I know it's gonna be, listen, we're gonna be on ramen noodles for a month or two. But if I'm gonna be the Lupo in this situation, we've raised like 60 grand for St. Jude over our lifetime, which means we only need to raise another like $3.6 million. And we'll match what Ben has managed to do. And then we'll get Brizzy in some platform shoes, or at least some lifts, and we'll get him some sleeve tats. Honestly, they may just be like, hey, we're glad you two changed your mind, thinking that it's Lupo and Tim. And we may just have to like forge a couple of check signatures. I think that's how this happens. I think that's how we managed to pull this off. The greatest heist of all time. Does that mean I have to start unironically drinking Bud Light? Hey, you think you feel bad? Your quality of gameplay and broadcasting doesn't need to change. You just have to unironically drink White Claw and enjoy it. I have to get like 1,000 times better at streaming and video games, and shave my face and not make anyone think that I'm some sort of escaped asylum pederast. Because when this beard goes away, I'm gonna look like somebody Dexter Morgan needs to kill. There's no way. This is gonna be a nightmare if I ever shave this beard. And I've got a pretty deep voice. It's gotta come down here and live down here because Ben Lupo has this dominating baritone voice. He's a voice you listen to in an emergency. Mine is not. Mine is not a voice you listen to in an emergency. Mine is a voice that says, hey, you know what? Now's not the time to try to be funny, asshole. The ship's on fire. I was keeping that money for my 45th car. My 45th car, but if it is for St. Jude. I had one White Claw that wasn't bad. Shockingly, it was the lime one. I've never had a White Claw. I've never had a White Claw. Yeah, honestly, like, I'm probably gonna burn this Bud Light bridge, but I think you guys would probably respect me more for it. I've seen New Belgium floating around in the circles of streamers, and there's genuinely a part of me that feels like I owe New Belgium Brewing Company a debt of gratitude, because back when I was in college, thank you, Blastocyst, finally bought ourselves some peace and quiet. New Belgium I saw is like pushing Voodoo Ranger IPA around. I would love for New Belgium to get a hold of me. And I'll tell you why. It's because when I was a kid, I was drinking Bud Light, I was drinking Coors Light, I was drinking Budweiser. And it wasn't until I had New Belgium's Fat Tire that I realized that better beer existed and that I was allowed to drink it. So if Voodoo Ranger ever shows up at my door, out of a sense of obligation for all they've done to me, I will pimp that brand for a pittance. What is going on? I will find you. I don't care what the cost is. I've already half cleared this floor. Told you. Whoop, maybe. Their lychee beer is tasty. Is that New Belgium? It's been a while. Not for any particular reason, but yeah, it's been a while since I've had New Belgium stuff. It's not quite as easy to track down on the East Coast. You can, but I do feel blessed. Yeah, Fat Tire truly Fat Tire. There's two beers, Fat Tire and Alaskan Amber. I don't even know who made Alaskan Amber, but I remember those being the two beers on tap that I started drinking when I was old enough to go to bars, when I turned 21 and started going to bars and drinking beer for fun. And New Belgium's Fat Tire and who made Alaskan Amber? That's gonna drive me insane. Alaskan Amber. Oh, the Alaskan Brewing Company. That makes sense. The Alaskan Brewing Company's Alaskan Amber and New Belgium's Fat Tire were the two beers that made me realize I could drink good beer. Well, I think it's probably about as good as it's gonna get. There you go, clip it and ship it to New Belgium. No one knows those people. If there's a chance for us to get Voodoo Ranger, then Noah can make it happen. If we can't, then Noah can't. It looks like we're gonna do a Final Fantasy gacha game next week, chat. I'm gonna need y'all to support me. And I don't mean that just like, hey chat, have my back, but I mean like, make me feel okay about doing this, because like, even though Raid's gone really well, and even though Marvel went really well, I still get apprehensive about, you know, about mobile games. I just know at some point I'm gonna get a bad one, although I don't think it's gonna be Final Fantasy. That'll be next week. That said, I can't talk about other stuff, but let's put it this way. There is an opportunity floating in the wind. There was an opportunity floating through the wind that had Noah so excited that he called me while I was on the shitter. Honestly, Labrizzi, I don't know why I said your entire name. The thing that got me about, like, the thing that bit my ass about Marvel, I said I fucking like it more than Raid. I haven't missed a day logging into Marvel since I did the activation. 3.5 months ago. That's the thing that killed me about Marvel, was that I actually liked it more than Raid. And so like, I liked Raid. I liked Raid a lot. I was shocked that I liked Raid. But I liked Raid a lot. I mean, look at this shit. Okay, hold on. This is why I have to pay my YouTube editors more. I'm gonna let that boot up. I can listen, that can wait. We can do it in between runs, Taffy. Like a dog chasing cars. I don't understand why I am the way that I am. I feel like Marvel is a little less grindy. It's like it's a little more forgiving. Like if you don't want to spend the money, of course, because this is how they get you, you know, the fastest way to get a good squad is to pay for them. But generally speaking, like you can, generally speaking, you can get almost every character in the game for free if you're patient enough and grindy enough. Hello? So it always felt like it was the learning curve was a little less steep, and it was a little less grindy. And because like I'm such a comic book nerd, because I'm like I grew up in my 20s a real like comic book fan, it's easier for me to relate to like, holy shit, I got Misty Knight, or holy shit, I got you know, I got Cloak and Dagger, as opposed to you know, holy shit, I got this like orc who I now have to read the lore for, you know? Let me beat this, let me at least get between floors. Whoops. No, better.
This is the story.
Violent Shadows, tier 1, 18
denizen
months.
of the
Thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. Hello. How dare you? We finally got our first, I think our first tiers upgrade in the entire run. Orclore, also known as Lork. You little rat bastard. Shit, I don't have flight. I can get to these things. The health is good. Damn, I really need flight. Wait. Oh, I thought I could get over there. Damn, like I really need flight. That sucks. Who knows what those items are? It could be a boat. I like, honestly, like, you know, obviously you do you when it comes to the Marvel thing, but like I genuinely haven't missed logging in a day in 3.5 months. I played it on my vacation to the mountains. Yeah. There's no way I'm gonna be able to get flight. One of those is probably fate, that's the irony of it. One of those is probably flight. Let me at least get off this floor and then I can show you. I was just surprised how much I enjoyed the game. So much so that, like, I have Super Auto Pets on my phone. I have Raid on my phone. But the only thing I ever really play on my... I have Pokemon Go on my phone, but really the only thing I ever play is Marvel. I wake up every morning and I play it while I watch the news. Violent Shadows, again, thank you so much. You're doing great, Isaac. Oh my. Gonna be very confused about music here for a second. There we go. Conjoined is kind of like a... it's kind of a rate of fire increase. Listen here. Hey, man! Taffy, what's going on, dude? I was just wondering if maybe you needed to see where you were going, because... The editors will be fine. They can leave that in. Joanna, you can leave that in. Matter of fact, I may be able to just knock this out before we do that. Full health. Where am I going? It's down, you fool. Well, maybe it's not down. Maybe it's up here and to the right. That'd be pretty straightforward. Ooh. It's nice to not have to worry about creep. Maybe it's up here to the right. It is! Hooray! You about finished? You guys, you got this little temper tantrum out of your system? Alright. Good talk. And now we just do this. Here, hit me once. Ah. That didn't go quite as well as I'd hoped. What a kind of underwhelming run for all the cool shit that we picked up. There's like nothing really super impressive ever came together. There's a lot of health, 2 tiers upgrades, but like for some reason we really never got it pulled together. Oh well.